Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for round 6 of Super Rugby Pacific, and this one is always an awesome fixture. The Highlanders down in Dunedin up against the Hurricanes. A game which hopefully will be very close between these two sides. They have had some great battles throughout the last decade at Forsyth Barr Stadium. No wind, no rain to deal with, just fast-paced running rugby between these two sides. Looking through at the table, the way that it sits, the Hurricanes are currently top of the bunch on their 15 points, partnered with the Blues and the Brumbies, both also on the 15, but their points differential is thoroughly impressive for this Cane side of plus 85, whereas their opposition here, the Highlanders, they are just outside of the playoff zone at this point in time, but a win here would boost them right up into 4th place just at this stage of the round. Of course, still plenty of matches to go for the Highlanders to keep on climbing to try and get themselves that little bit closer to playoff rugby games. Looking through at the starting lineups for these two sides, starting with the home side, the Highlanders. Ethan de Groot, Jack Taylor, and Angus Aval will be the front row. Ollie Haig alongside TK Howden, who shifts from the locking duo, shifts to the locking duo from the loose forwards like he has been playing the last few weeks. Sean Withy, Lucas Casey, and Hugh Renton. They are the loose forwards. Falau Fakatava and Risham Pasitoa. No Cam Miller for this game. Jonah Nariki out on the left wing. Timothy Tavatavanawai and the return of Jonah Lowe as the number 13. Caleb Tangitau and Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nipkins at number 15. For the Hurricanes, Xavier Numia, Asafo Amoa and Pasilio Tosi will be the men who are up front. So it's pretty stacked in terms of ex-All Blacks or current All Blacks in that department. Caleb Delaney and Warner Dearns as the locking duo, with Devon Flanders, Peter Larkai and Braden Yossi as the number 8. They are spoiled for choice in those loose forwards and often do have the different options off of the bench. In this case, it is Duplessis Karifi as well as Brad Shields as the reinforcements laid on. Cameron Roygaard alongside Ruben Love as that 9 and 10 combination. The return of Love after that ankle injury left him out for quite some time. Fihi Nofo out on the left wing. Geordie Barrett and Billy Proctor, the AB's duo in the midfield, with Josh Morby back out on the right and Callum Harkin at number 15. So, those are the starting lineups. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got there. Look at the points difference, Baden says Kiwi Rob, in terms of the way that these teams are sitting, I assume. We have got there. How's Hamish? Have an awesome weekend, says Anthony. Hope you are doing extremely well and hope you are excited for this weekend of rugby. There is Super Rugby, there is URC, there is also Sevens 2 that will be taking place as well. And if you do, subscribe and don't forget to hit the like button, says David the Mod in there as well. Currently for this Hurricane side, they're coming off a couple wins in a row, one up against the Waratahs, one up against the Western Force. They did suffer that loss to the Fijian Rua, playing in Fiji. Did lose by the 5 points, but their differential as a whole still looks very handy. We'll be streaming the Brumbies versus Chiefs game later tonight. We certainly will. And that should be a must-see game as well. Two sides right near the top of the table. A lot of impact to be had for the two teams as well. But both sides just making their way out of the tunnel here at Forsyth Barr Stadium. Hi, all than Hamish. Says, Robert, what happened to Cam Miller? I believe he's out with a concussion at this point in time. And that is due to that big shot that he took last week up against the Crusaders. But yeah, not in that 10 jersey. Risham Pasitoa gets a start and also an opportunity off the bench for Andrew Newstub for this game. People who have followed the Sevens for a while will know that man quite well. But Ruben Love back into this Hurricane starting lineup. A few weeks off with the injury. Hugh Renton leading the side out. He is actually co-captain alongside Timothy Tavatavanawai off to Moana Pacific versus Chiefs game in Rotorua next month. Says Jasmine. And also, nice Jasmine. I might go to that as well. It seems like, that's the thing, last game wasn't too close between those two sides, but I feel like there's potential for it to be closer. Plus, I mean, you'll get to see a massive high-scoring one. We have got there. Hi, Hamish. I know you're a Lander. I got to back my region, go the Canes. I'm definitely not a Highlander. Viral Shorts. We have got there. Good morning, says Zakaya. And there as well. Ruben Love is in a team. Well, he's playing 10 for this game. He's listed as a first 5/fullback. You mean the Satyrs player took Cam Miller? I said he got injured in the game up against the Crusaders. And we have got there, what date, Jasmine, says Baden. And Angus Gardner will be the man in charge of this one. Graham Cooper as the TMO. An exciting one, though. These two sides, they have had some absolutely awesome games. There was one in about 2021 or 22 that was absolutely fantastic back and forth rugby. Of course, there's been a final between these two sides as well. Back in the day, the Hurricanes are looking to win their 10th match in a row versus the Highlanders. So a pretty impressive record up against this Landers team. Been some close ones throughout the 10 matches, though. Some game changers out there for the Highlanders. Looking to win their third home match in 4 attempts in 2026. Not normally in this type of position. Who does Angus favour tonight, Landers? Hopefully neither. But I love the fact that no matter who the referee is and no matter who's playing, there's always now the stipulation that people think they're going to have one team that they're more excited to give penalties against. Nice take there from the Highlanders, and TK Howden already almost having a line break there, moves up to 40 metres out from the line. A little bit of wrestling there between, I think it was Cam Roigard and John Anariki behind the breakdown. People talk about TK Howden as an All Black. He's solid, but I don't see it. Says the Sporting Kiwi. Yeah, we'll get to see something different from him here, playing in the locking joy for the first time throughout the season. Of course, that Lavanini injury, big shame for the Argentine international. A few big hits on Geordie from Big Jim. This game would have delivered for me, says Abel. And that's probably a very intriguing head-to-head because of the main factor. Those two men are jockeying for that number 12 jersey in the All Black setup. And Dave Rennie has said, they're looking at form. They're looking at who are the players who are playing the best in those different departments. So it will be very intriguing to see who actually gets the better of that head-to-head. And I do think that anyone advocating for Geordie Barrett, if he has a better game than Timothy Tavatavanawa here, they will have a little bit more firepower. But of course, Big Jim has been the informed 12 in Super Rugby for the past couple of years. He beats defenders for fun. I believe he's right at the top at this point in time. Pack weight's 923 kgs for the Hurricanes. Just under the 900 for the Highlanders. Currently 90 seconds in, and we are going to get to see the first scrum of the day. Pasilio Tossi head-to-head with Ethan de Groot. Two All Blacks facing off on that side. Angus Ta'aval and Xavier Numia on the other. Big scrum that stands strong for both of the teams. Now going off to the right-hand side, Jonah Lowe goes on the outside to Caleb Tangitau running down the wing. He's going to be tackled there, but then does still get the kick away, and it's actually going to be the penalty for offside going against the Hurricanes. Tossi nearly collapsed, but he didn't, did he? And man, you are delayed. Says Kiwi Rob. Probably. I'm watching on Sky Sport now once again, like we normally are. But they are going to take that quick tap already there. Now, Geordie Barrett, he has moved all the way up to the 22-metre line for the Hurricanes. Cam Roigard going off to the left-hand side. Now we have got there, is Roigard doing well, or going to do well today? I hope so. Him versus Fakatava is also another intriguing one. Why so serious, says Jared? Like, as in, like, this game, or just me in general? Vasilio Tossi, carry from him, makes a couple extra metres for the Canes. Roigard going to the right-hand side. Now Roigard, waiting patiently, gives it off to Warner Durns. It seemed to have a little bit more of a running game in the last contest. Did you have a big Thursday, says Jared? I had a couple cricket trainings and some work. And it's not going to get any less busy over the weekend. Now, Billy Proctor going off to the left-hand side again for Roigard. Finds the hands of Devon Flanders. Gets through one. Playing at number 6 in this game. There might be an injury for Ethan de Groot there. He's very slow getting back up to his feet. But Whirianofo towards the corner. He's tackled by Jacob Ratamaitafuki Nipkins. Just 1 metre short of line. Barrett passes across to Warner. Durns. He is held up, I believe, by the Hurricanes. By the Highlanders defence. Almost slamming down. We have got there, Lasanga would be my All Black 7. Says the Sporting Kiwi, does that mean you're playing Savia at 8 or you're not playing Savia in general? I heard that you pulled your hammy. Not yet, but I definitely will this weekend. Now goal line dropout here for the Highlanders. Angus Garner just saying keep the game going. He doesn't want any stoppages between these two teams. Oh, that's a weird catch attempt there. I think it was Braden Yossi. Yes, it was. He almost couldn't decide whether or not he was going reverse cup or actually down into the chest, and he's just ended up slapping that ball forward. Is Ratama not playing for the Landers today? No, he's playing in the next game up against the Brumbies, though. And, Ratuma. No, don't think so. Now, we have got the Hamish. Did you recover from last hectic weekend? Took me a couple days, but I think we got there after a while. What type of 7s are there this weekend? 7s 2. It's going to be taking place, so that involves sides like Kenya, Germany, Canada, USA. And then on the women's side, Argentina, South Africa, China. And also, who else they got in the women's side? I think Mexico. No, they're on Division 3, actually. Now, ball's going to be fed in. I think Poland might be in there, or Czechia, someone like that. And off to the left-hand side, Fakatava, short ball from Pasitoa, goes to Jonah Lowe. And where's the sevens this weekend? Montevideo, which is in Uruguay. I'll go on off to the right-hand side. How much did you punish? How much did you punish? What does that mean? Thanks for the good commentary, Hamish, says Colin. I prefer Savi as an 8. He barely played at 7 for the All Blacks. See as a sporting Kiwi. Now Angus Ta'aval, 40 metres out from the line here. The Highlanders, 5 phases in, or already 5 minutes have passed in this contest. Caleb Tangitau thought about going short, gets through the tackle, attempt to the Canes. Passed out wide to Jonah Nariki. Good cover defence from the Hurricanes, though, getting back across and straight into the breakdown. Yosei almost was able to get the turnover. Rush defence from Xavier Numia. Peter Larkoi not able to get that steal either. Now moving away to the right-hand side, Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins goes up the middle, and the try is scored by the Highlanders there. And that has made the crowd in Dunedin very happy indeed, getting on the board first, and Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins scores his second try of the Super Rugby season. Hamish, please, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I really don't. I don't know whether you had a spelling error in there or whether you just misspoke, but no idea what you meant. I think you were missing 1 or 2 words. Tangitau should have gone himself, says Jordan. They scored the try anyway about 30 seconds later, so I don't think they're really going to care too much. Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins just sneaks through a gap in the Canes' defence. And JRK, Tangitau the strength and pace, says Jordan. And 2 scrums so far, Groot is angling in on Tossi, but he's holding, says Nutter Boy. Region Pasitoa. So far, he is sitting at the moment 5 from 5. That one has gone over. And add the additional 2, and the Highlanders now lead in this contest in Dunedin 7-0. That's not a good shot, because that background showed like 5 people in the stands on that far side. Already on the board. How the Black Caps do last week. They managed to get themselves 1 win, 1 loss. Last week they only had a loss. This week they've had a win already. The series currently 1-1. And speaking of which, they are going to be starting in about 2 minutes' time for that third Black Caps test. So we will keep you updated on that one too, because if I don't keep you updated, someone in the chat definitely will spoil it. So I feel like you're better off knowing that there's going to be updates so that you can either watch that too or just know that there's going to be some sort of spoiler. That makes sense? I feel like that makes sense, right? So we've got the dries, says Jared. What type of sevens are there this weekend? Once again, sevens too. So the same sides that I mentioned about 2 minutes ago, once again, are playing. Now, Callum Harkin, nice take at the back for the Hurricanes. Oh, Braden Yossi, he's going to get cleaned out of that breakdown by TK Howden. Hamish, will you now switch to cricket, or this rugby match will span an entire cricket match? This rugby, as well as the next one, will be taking place during the cricket, but we are going to be giving cricket updates. Plus, I'm going to be watching it on split screen to see exactly what's happening. But I'm off there, Tava Nawai. Nice flick pass on the outside to Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins. Does get driven into touch, but they'll go back. And it will be the ball for the Highlanders. Are you the man? Keep it up, bro, says Cody. Thank you very much. When you go into the Black Cats, hopefully the 5th match. Already 9 minutes gone in this matchup. Handling errors at the moment. 3 for the Hurricanes. 3 turnovers conceded as well. 1 penalty conceded by the Highlanders. Okay, Angus Garner really honing down on the scrums at the moment in the background. Are you going on the Wednesday next week, or the Wednesday next week? If I do end up going, it will be that one, yes. You are a crazy Baghdad at the club. I just don't think I am. We don't even have a club here. And no kicking away. Good position now. Taking the quick tap there for Falau Fakatava. He's going to be wrestled down by Roygaard, who also forces the handling error. Fihi Whinia Nofo from inside of his 22 will send it downfield. Nariki covering a huge amount of ground to get back. He's decided to go aerial with this one. Highlanders players being told to retreat backwards. Geordie Barrett back to Harkin. That was a very late shot from Jonah Nariki. That ball's going to drift into touch. Highlanders line out. Are you going to the 50-20 with friends or with the parents? A little bit of both. More than likely, there'll be a group of about 5 of us, I think. And Kane's Ruben. Time to shine, bro, says Shane there. And also we have got there, not a bad dancer, but not as good as grandpa. Says Jared, hello from Paris. Says Aloria, welcome in. Malaus, welcome in, Johnny. On to the right-hand side, Peter Larkai tackled round the halfway line by Hugh Renton. Now Roygard looking off to the side. Gives it to Harkin. Gets the pass on the inside now. And that one's gone into touch. It is a knock-on into touch. They have a couple options there. Quick tap taken by the Highlanders. I've decided to keep this one moving now. Drop ball again. We'll mention the matchup taking place between the Proteas and the Black Caps has now just started up. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a split screen situation. I've got the Highlanders game down in the corner and the Black Caps up top. And also we have got the big fan of Fihi. The winger, maybe he'll play for England in the future, says Johnny Blaze. We have got there, Hamish, you've lost more hair since last month. What did you do? More streams. Very stressful. South Africa batting first, though, in the match up against the New Zealanders. That is at Eden Park. So that is a location that we don't get to see the Blues play this weekend. But the Blues will be in action late Saturday night. That is up against the Waratahs. Scrum feed for the Hurricanes, sitting about 25 metres out from the try line currently. This will be about the third scrum that we've seen. Les Sleep does that to here. Well, then that's why I should be bald by now, surely, with that logic there. Now going off, Geordie Barrett flicks it. Cam Roygard, nailed by Timothy Tava Nawai, trying the grubber in behind there for the Hurricanes. Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins from inside of his own line. We'll kick that one downfield, but we're already playing the penalty advantage. And that is going to be a penalty against Ethan de Groot. Elbow going down against Basilio Tossi. And now, penalty one for the Canes. We have got their Black Caps. Who are they playing? They are playing South Africa. So that'll be the third T20. Taking place at the moment at Eden Park. We have got there, nonetheless, your great man Ham, says Jared. I hope Johnny Least gets a start for the Crusaders, says Baden. Well, he's been doing very nicely, hasn't he, Johnny Lee? On debut, getting himself the 2 tries. He really has put his name back in the hat. Okay, Hurricanes haven't said how many they've got on the line out yet. It looks like it's going to be the full 4-pack with Roygard standing at the front. I show the boys your pants, says Mr. Delmo. Once again, don't have pants. I've got shorts this week again. Now, Peter Larkai going off to Geordie Barrett. Now, 10 metres out from the line. Roygard again finds the hands of Larkai. Another advantage that is going to be for offside. Now, left attack and run from Barrett. About 3 out. Roygard snipes and he scores next to the breakdown. Hurricanes back into the game. It was already the penalty advantage as well. Cam Roygard finding a gap. His second of the season. Shields is on the bench. We're going to see the replay now, though, from Roygard. He decides to go that way. And then sneaks his way through. Big sell of the dummy. And then does finish it off. Jumping over, says Jordan. I don't think, there was half a jump there, but I think he was just getting around the breakdown, then jumping over a tackle, which would be the only way it wasn't legal. Can I ask, you think the Crusaders win or lose tomorrow? They should have a decent chance of winning, but Moana really pushed them. At times when the two sides have played in the past, Ruben Love for his first kick. How many games are they playing? 5 or 4? Which one do you say you were going to watch IRL? If you're talking about the cricket, they are playing 5, and it would possibly be the 5th one. That girl on TV said TMO. Well, she was wrong, and the try has stood. Currently 7-all between these two sides. And of course, if the opposition score, you're probably going to want the TMO to check just to see if there's any slight chance that you can get it ruled out. And unfortunately, that was just straight up sniping around the side. We have got the apologies. Massive Dong Silva says, Jared there, and good day, Hamish. Good to see you again. Hello from Kazakhstan. Weather looking good, says Jonathan. Whereas the 50-20 for the Black Cats, it is in Christchurch. He just had a cyclone blow through up North Queensland. That's a good sign for the Hurricanes, says Real Ando. Well, hopefully everyone's all right up there. Do they normally get cyclones at this time of year? He did jump unnecessarily, though. I mean, he did jump, but he didn't jump over anyone. Like, it was never going to be a penalty against him. I think it was definitely wishful thinking if it was going to be called as no try. Definitely when we saw Tupavai's one stand, even though eventually they did rule that as different. But it was also the one where he jumped over a tackler, whereas Roigard did not. This one's going to be kicked downfield from Rijan Pasitoa. Oh, that almost went out on the full. In fact, it did. I think this is now a big decision. They've got an option of either a scrum from 5 out or a line out. This is actually the perfect position to be on the field for the Hurricanes. A massive mistake from Rijan Pasitoa. Who do you want to win, says Loria. I just hope it's a good game. Like a back and forth one here would be absolutely awesome. And these two sides have done it in the past. Goal line dropout out, or goal line dropout in rugby league as punishment, not getting out of your goal line. And rugby, the players don't care. Says a Sporting Kiwi. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You still, theoretically, like 90% of the time, we're seeing the ball go back to the other team, aren't we? We have good there. Hey, mate, what's your gut feeling on Devon Flanders, the potential AB's number 8? I thought he was close last year. This year, he's probably still in the running, but it just depends on what Dave Rennie's looking for as his number 8 option. You know, like for all we know, we might see Tupavai in that number 8 jersey. Oh, sorry, not number 8, but sorry, number 6. And then I guess that probably transitions someone like a Satiti or a Parker. Once again, it just depends on Rennie and what they're going to want to do with that loose forward trio. But he's definitely up there at the moment in terms of the contention for it. This is why you don't play a centre at 12 or at 10. 2 loose forwards at lock, says Jordan. Because of the guy kicking it into touch, right? You blame the 2 loose forwards in the locking duo. And goddamn Roigard is good, taking over Aaron Smith's spot, says MPT. And all quiet here in the UAE so far. It's currently 29 degrees Celsius in the morning. It's a bit warm, isn't it? I think we're supposed to have a high of about 18 tomorrow, and that's going to be warm enough at our cricket semi-final. Which, it's an interesting one, because if we win, we will then have to play on Sunday. And that will mean that I'll be playing cricket running off about 2 hours of sleep after an all-night of streaming. But hopefully we win the semi. New Zealand just getting a wicket there in the cricket as well. It is Mulder on his way for the duck. New Zealand currently have South Africa 7 for 1 off 1.5 overs. Saifalui also looks like someone the All Blacks could bring in. He's 6 for 5 and 120 kg. I'd be fascinated to see or look back at the start of players Rennie picked in the Wallabies. Could give an indication of what style players Rennie would like in the ABs. He's not really an absolute bruiser wrecking ball with explosive power like Jasper Vise and Rob Valentini. He's more like an absolute workhorse with very consistent, strong ball carry. And South Africa 7 for 1 says Nutter Boy there. Ball's going to be fed in. The scrum has finally taken place. New advantage there again at scrum time. The Hurricane scrum doing very nicely up against the Landers currently. Ball still there. Roigard gives it short to Peter Lakai. Tries to spin through the tackle of Timothy Tavatanawai. Ball's available again. 19 minutes through. Safwa Moore. In fact, that time it was Xavier Numia. Safwa Moore right on his arm here, trying to keep that ball on the side. The real question is what the hell happened to TJ? He's in Japan at the moment. Crossfield kick. Oh. Okay, Morby's had an absolute shocker there. He almost went dead, so jumped back into the field of play to try and force it down. I think De Grooter's injured. Remember, he took ages to get up before. But why is he still out there for the Highlanders in that case? Because at the moment, he is getting done in the scrums by this Canes attack. Oh, drop ball there from the Black Caps to end the Ferguson over. It was dropped at first slip by Jimmy Neesham. De Grooter is a real one, likes to go hunting. Says a Sporting Kiwi. Who's your favourite player on each team? For the Highlanders, I mean, it's hard not to say someone like Timothy Tavatavanawa just because of what he's able to do. For the Canes, I mean, Roigard's right up there. I do like Fihi Whinianofo, though. Nisham way is he playing? Says Jordan, because he got selected. But now 5 metres out, it will once again be the Hurricanes scrum here. I've been looking at the guy called Matolu Pataya. I'm really impressed with his ball carrying, very explosive and brutal. Which team does he play for? Oh, Roigard has passed it off. No, in fact, he's got himself here, Roigard, and the try is scored. He's got himself the double down in Dunedin. First quarter of this game, Roigard has struck twice. We're going to see the replay. That ball kind of popped almost out the side of the scrum, it looked like. Oh, no, sorry. It didn't pop out the side of the scrum. He actually picked it back up and took the quick tap, which is what happened. I think Cam Roigard is a cheater. What about him makes him a cheater, Kiwi Rob? What makes him grind your gears? Makes you get a little bit annoyed about him. That one's gone over. That's going to make the score 14 points to 7. Am I banned from the channel, Hamish? Can you read my messages? I can, Turkiyov. Did you have any... I see you said, hey there, Kiwi. I don't know if you had any earlier on. No, you didn't. So you were saying hi to someone in the chat. Sorry, I thought you meant hi, Kiwi Rob, so I didn't bother reading it because I thought you were saying hi to Kiwi Rob, who messaged, like, a few before you. That's where the confusion came in. Hamish, where did you bring fish accent? I didn't know fish had accents. I didn't even know they could talk. But now, ball in the hands of Caleb Tangi Tau. About 25 metres out from the line. Oh, and penalty awarded to the Hurricanes. That was for a lifting clean out. Morning, Hamish. Hope that you're well. Says Josh, same to you. GJ is in Japan. And also, South Africa 7-1 in the Canes strike. Oh, sorry, 7-1. And the Canes strike. You were intimidating Kiwi Rob by that fish accent. Once again, what is a fish accent? Is it when you like talk underwater or something? Roigard over Aaron Smith all day. Says Dalmo, who just scored for the Canes. Mine's a bit behind, so it was Cam Roigard. Managed to get himself the double. Now Safua Moore around the halfway line. Another throw here, nicely taken by Warner Durns. Honestly, the Hurricanes are looking like the best Super Rugby team, says Davian. Yeah, at the moment, they sit top of the table. They've got the potential of getting another bonus point here, which would mean they'd be pretty close to staying up there at the end of the round. Just that one loss to the Fijian Roar, that's another advantage. At the moment, the Highlanders been penalised far too much for their liking. Roigard takes a quick tap. Now gets inside of the 22 before he's dragged down by Jack Taylor. Big clean out in the breakdown. Jonah Nariki gets the ball back but runs it into touch. Okay, ball was out, then play on. So I assume that they went with a quick throw there. Now to Warner Durns. 23 minutes in. Lately, it's been all Hurricanes. The Brumbies also aren't doing too bad this season. Yeah, that Brumbies-Chiefs game later on tonight will definitely be one to keep an eye on. Is it the fish and chips thing? Maybe. I feel like we needed more, like, I would have thought he would have said, like, the fish and chips accent, or fish and chips with a U, and then that would have made a bit more sense. Now going off to the left-hand side, Billy Proctor, ball on the outside. Harkin, there's a bit of a juggle of it. Ball was in the hands of the Highlanders for half a second. It looked like they knocked it on, but no. I don't now they've found the second knock on. We'll go back now for the Highlanders scrum. We have got there, I never heard fish and chips in the South Island, or never had fish and chips in the South Island. Any recommendations? Where did I drop that cap? There it is. I would say it depends on, like, they always say Hamden's good for, like, the blue cod and chips or the blue cod burger, anything like that. That's probably the one mid-South Island that gets talked about quite a bit, or I guess it's further south, really. But yeah, Hamden's all right. Depends on what type of fish and chips you're after. Are you after just like a stock standard, like random fish and chip shop in a town, or are you after one near near the water. Does KFC sell fish and chips? No, they sell chips, but they don't sell fish. Who would be your best fly half for Super Rugby Fantasy? I pick Mackenzie. Mackenzie's probably a decent shout. Although you could also look at someone who's playing in a game that's expected to be a bit more one-sided. I thought you were wearing white full sleeves coat shirt. Not quite, no, my arms are out. This just was easy. I had the shirt on. That one's going to be kicked into touch by Callum Harkin. That one's gone into touch. Highlanders will have themselves the line out. Coming off the Fury, Spring Creek Fish and Chips. Bloody awesome. Near the water tends to be the best one, says the Sporting Kiwi. I also picked Bowden Barrett. Wait, so you picked 2 fly halves in your fantasy team. I think the quick tap should be banned, and if you get a penalty and you kick it away, nearly score, it should be advantage over. So why should the quick tap be banned? To slow down the game? Or, because quick tap's been a thing for a long, long time, so to get rid of it's a bit of a weird choice, I would think. Now there's going to be the penalty advantage. Now, Pasitoa. Going on the inside, Tangitau to Pasitoa again. 40 metres out from the line at the moment for the Highlanders. And that's going to be another penalty awarded. A little bit of push and shove there. Now we have got the Ed Brick. And to you as well, Hamish. Says Turkeyov. I don't know why KFC got rid of sweet corn. That's actually something I've heard quite a bit. People were sad that they got rid of it quite a while ago. I also thought Ethan Group was South African. He must have some South African or Dutch family. I think it's Dutch in the long run back. Penalties conceded at the moment, though. The Highlanders, they have given away 5. Just the 1 penalty against the Hurricanes just at this point in time. It has been bad, says K Slade. Now, throw in nicely. Taken at the back by Lucas Casey. He has been playing in that number 8 jersey more so than number 7. Now, Fakatava going back across to the left-hand side. About 10 metres from the try line. Looking to get straight back into this game, the Highlanders, and make the score 14 all. Trying to hold him up in the air. Oh, that ball comes out the side. Fakatava goes up to TK Howden. Good strength from him to make a couple extra metres. Now right-hand side. Pasitoa going in behind. Geordie Barrett went for the early tackle but missed. And now Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins going to be just 2 metres short of the try line. Fakatava back to the right. This is very close for the Highlanders. Almost on the ball. Knocked down the hands of Fakatava, but Jonah Lowe reaches out. And they're going to check this one. Seemed like the initial ruling was knock on from Gardner. I think they want to go back and just check this one. Crusaders are dreadful this season. Says Davian. Yeah, but if they make the top 6, I still don't think I want to play them. I got quite the record in playoff rugby for Super Rugby competitions in general. Right, though. Want to check whether or not it's knocked on by the Highlanders 9. So that is for Lau Fakatava. We're going to see it now. It was in the hands of Braden Yossi. It's definitely sideways. It's whether or not it's gone forward. This other angle, that makes it look worse. That kind of does make it look like it's travelled. Oh, no. In fact, that other angle shows a very clear knock-on after the first initial questionable one. So it is going to be no try. So it is going to be scrum for the Hurricanes. What's South African prop that played for the Hurricanes? I don't know any. No idea. I know that they've had a few South Africans in their team, the Hurricanes, over the years. Cobus van Wyk was one, wasn't he? And also Wes Hoosen. And Canes win easily. Says Mark. And they were honestly my favourites to win Super Rugby this season, but I changed my mind to have the Hurricanes or the Brumbies. Lucy prop Jordan. I can't remember if he was in the team that won the comp or not. And Kelvin Hamish says Chris Hayes, welcome in. Yeah, but Wes isn't a prop, although by the sounds of it, Sporting Kiwi's giving you one. And Big Kick Love, get it down there. The Hurricanes at 12-7. Now ball's going to be fed in. Braden Yose breaks off the back. Tamothi Tavatanawai makes the tackle alongside Lucas Casey. Hi, Mr. Kiwi. How you doing? Doing very well. Excited for this weekend. Plenty of rugby and cricket as well. Now, Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins, who's past the halfway, tackled by Derns. They've been told to release him. Black Caps have just taken another wicket in the game up against the South Africans. Now South Africa 26 for 2. Now back to the right. Another penalty awarded to the Highlanders. Reggie Agudis is the prop, says the Sporting Kiwi. Was the latest on the T20. 26 for 2 after 5 overs. One's going to be put into touch by the Highlanders, who are still chasing another try. Connor Easterhuis and the man dismissed for the Proteas. 15 off 8 for him. So Geordie Barrett did get the steal, but it was not quite a legal one due to his teammate being in the breakdown. Can't have been any good, says Jordan. I feel like even if he was, though, you'd find a way to complain about him. It seems to be one of your personality traits. Now Fakatava going off to the left-hand side. Short ball to Ethan. The group big 2-man tackle on him by a Moore. And also, I believe it was Braden Yossi. Ball was almost stolen in the breakdown by the Canes. Little bit of a skip there from Jack Taylor. Sitting 22 metres out from the line. Warner Derns trying to hold him up. That line-up Tanner put up is terrible, says Jordan. He was at the Hurricanes from 2012, 2016, so he won a title, says the Sporting Kiwi. Well, there you go. I think we'll get about 160 for the Proteas, says Kyle. I'm going to see the replay now, though. Ethan de Groot, ball in his hand. Big, huge shot from Braden Yossi and a Safwa Moore on him. And there's the knock-on from Hugh Renton. This game is boring. What do you think would make it more fun, Kiwi Rob? Because I know you wanted to take quick taps out of it, which of course slows the game down, which would add less excitement too. So what do you think this game needs? Don't say Blues players. Kiriwani and Finau, so lazy, says Jordan. Kiriwani, 123 kgs at the back of the scrum, as well as contributing to that maul dominance. We would be unstoppable, says Tanner too. Because how long's left on Akira's overseas contract? Is he coming back to New Zealand, or is he happy like extending contracts or going to another team overseas? Braden Yosei going to the short side again. He has got the man with him, decides to bump, or at least try and bump off Falau Fakatava. Couldn't get through. Another advantage now for the Canes. Now Ruben Love passes across to the left-hand side. Barrett gets his offload away to Harkin. Fihi Fianofo out wide up against Caleb Tangitel. Those two were teammates at one point in time. And it's going to be going back for the initial advantage. And Gaines coming, says Ruth. And Artie playing holiday rugby, says Robert. What is your favourite Super Rugby team? Says Ilaria. I mean, I like the Hurricanes kit the best, but in terms of a team in general, I don't actually have one. The penalty for Ruben Love. You able to kick this one towards the touchline. They've said there that he's pretty unlucky there not to get the penalty, Jonah Nariki, for the work that he had in the breakdown. We're going to see the replay now. So Falau Fakatava makes the tackle. Then from there, Nariki missed the ball. And then from there, was penalised for it. Hurricanes at the moment for their line-out at 75%. Now, I'm not too sure where that puts them in terms of the overall standings of line-out. What? You're not a Crusaders fan? Says Zakaria in there. Not really, no. I went through a patch where I wasn't really watching rugby in general. So, like, in terms of, you know how most people have their team from ages and then they always stick with them? I never really had that. So we just call the games down the middle and just enjoy Super Rugby for what it is. That's going to be all big driving tackle around the bootlaces from Rijan Pasitoa. But it's another penalty advantage in favour of the Hurricanes. Morby going to cut back inwards. It's just mistake after mistake. Disciplinary wise out wide off the cross kick. Finianofo finishes in the corner for the Hurricanes, and they have got themselves their third. And we have got, there's just me, or do the teams change their uniforms every year? Pretty much, but then I guess that's a good way of getting like a little bit of extra money if it's forever changing. In South Africa, we call it in peril. The Fish and Chips says see something. DMAC are the best, Chiefs are the best team because of DMAC. Has any Fijian team ever won Super Rugby? No. The draw, though, they would absolutely love to be able to do so. They would need to win some away games, though. Haven't won in 3 years overseas. They got their game up against the Reds happening tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be able to cover that one, unfortunately. I wasn't able to find a fill-in either. But, yeah, that one is going to be taking place in the Saturday afternoon during the time that I'm playing in a semi-final. Ruben Love sitting 2 from 2 at the moment. This is his toughest kick of the day. 47 metres on the angle. Honestly, those Marvel uniforms should never come back again. And that one has hit the post and bounced back out. Actually, I think you need to scroll down in the comments. I'm as far as I can go at the bottom, other than Zacchaeus, who's below yours, Hussein and Riccatelli. We're also South African-born players who play for the Canes, says Zacchaeus, and there is a wicket for Ben Sears. South Africa now find themselves 36 for 3. But Fihifinia Nofo finishing that one off. And just letting the crowd know that they've got the third. Why can't Fiji win away? Why are they so good at home? I think the crowd definitely play into it a little bit, as well as the weather for in Fiji. But I can't tell one thing. Sometimes it's the discipline, but then you'd think that eventually the discipline would come right. But away from home, it just doesn't seem to. I take from Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins. Like it's a fielding 5th over 36 for 3. Yeah, Ben Sears just taken the wicket after going for the boundary. A little bit of a counter ruck there from Fihifinia Nofo. And the penalty goes the way of the Highlanders. 36 minutes through currently. Score sits 19 points to 7. The ground in Fiji says just spoken. Crowd and humidity in Fiji. Yeah, the humidity is another great point. And New Zealand need to unleash a 6-2 split with the amount of power we have. And more Williams, Tossi, Tuipulotu, Finau, and Shannon Frizzell would be insane. Says 10-2. I think Fiji will win quite a few away this season. They look the goods. Yeah, I'm waiting eagerly to see them do it. I remember when I used to play cricket for my school. I was the opening bowler, and I was up to bat. I was bowled a bouncer. I was about to whack it down square leg, but I smashed my wicket, says Junior. Go on right-hand side. Oh, big drop ball there from Braden Yossi as he's looking to attack the line. Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins. He scored the lone try for the Highlanders at this stage of the match. Told to leave it alone by Gardner. Haig, the short ball to TK Howden. Rugby needs to look at how long the advantage is, says Spencer. Now go on to the right-hand side. Knock on there from Sean Whiffy out wide. The Hurricanes get themselves another scrum. That was a short advantage, says Kiwi Rob. Do you think are you going to the next 3 T20s? Well, one of them's taking place now. The next one is taking place in Wellington on Sunday. And then the third, or the last one, is taking place in Christchurch. The Christchurch one's the most likely for me. Did you know that Fiji plays rugby? The Greeton Marin Sports Club in Tauranga? I did not. No, didn't know that. Ruben Love, let's move it, says Ruth. Just seen a big flying edge from Smith to get it away to the boundary for 4. 2 minutes remaining. Another scrum happening here between Basilio Tossi and Ethan Group. Both men staying strong for now. Now, another knock on. This time it's from Billy Proctor. The zoo is dead, says Kiwi Rob. I wonder how many of the Hurricane supporters fly down from Wellington, or if they're students at Otago University. I think there'll be a few who go to Dunedin or Otago University and have decided to go to the game and maybe had their Canes kit with them. But maybe a few have made the trip. Every time I watch the draw at home, it's a field with hardly anyone on it. Field with hardly, like, you're saying the players are getting sent off, or you're saying that, like, The crowd aren't on the field. Is it spring break in New Zealand? I don't think so. Not that I know of. Although I'm terrible with dates. Okay, second time far side. That is against Xavier Numia at the scrum for the early push. So Rejan Pasitoa will be able to kick this one downfield. Okay. Has been kicked into touch. There seemed to be a lot of confusion there for Pasitoa. Their fans, it's empty. Is it? I swear that game in Bar last week was pretty much sold out. Right, 7 is the call and the line out. They might consider a little bit of a sneaky rolling maul here. The Highlanders, although that won't help as the Canes have managed to take their ball back again. Fihi Norfo decides he will run this one himself. Hugh Renton, though, onto the ball straight away. Oh, referee has another advantage against them. I'm not actually sure what he did wrong there. Going off to the right-hand side, Geordie Barrett flicks it to Josh Morby. We're up to the halftime siren now, but the Canes look like they have one more attack in them before we reach the halftime break. Still no advantage. That is for going in off the feet. Loose ball picked up by Proctor. And yep, another penalty is awarded. I've taken the quick tap again there for Cam Roigard. He's been keeping this one moving all throughout the game so far. Another advantage there's Jordan. And Fiji gets the best crowd out of everyone. Chiefs get the next best crowds. Close to sellout for the Crusaders and the Blues. And also, we have got their watch highlights draw Blues last month. Says Jack. That was the one play. Was that the one played in the rain? Because if it was played in the rain and it was actually expected to be raining for the game, that's probably more so understandable. I know one. Oh no, Hurricanes played them in the rain, didn't they? I didn't actually see what they did with the Blues. Although I think we covered it on the channel. Be honest, Mr. Hamish, do you think we can sell out crowd in New Zealand? If it's a small stadium, they get close. Fihi Norfo. About 20 metres out from the line. Roigard. Moving away there to Basilio Tossi. Quick hands from him. Goes to Love. Now Barrett on the outside. Proctor, one more. Little bit of pressure there on Peter Lakai, who's knocked it on. And it should be the end of the half. Yes, it is. And just as halftime sounds, we see the wicket there of Smith in the cricket. South Africa, 44 for 4. 4 down, says Kiwi Rob. And it was sunny. Stadium was empty. Says Jack. Okay, so one game didn't sell out, but most of the Fijian attendances are pretty decent. I assume you didn't watch the game last week involving the two sides at Bar for that game up against the Brumbies. It was also the first time that they had a game in Bar, so the crowd really got behind it too. I'm watching this on holiday, enjoying the mix of Kiwi Thai commentary from Sang Som Cokes. Justin Marshall has never made any more sense, says Duncan. With Samsung Coast. I've never heard of that person. What you say about South Africa performance on this Eden Park, or short Eden Park, I expected more from them. Yeah, they're losing a few at the moment. I didn't see that one. Yeah, it was a great atmosphere with the crowd. Definitely after the final whistle when the drawer beat the Brumbies for the first time ever. And what will you say? Oh, no, I read that one. Do you play Super Raw at all? Nah. Terrible at predictions. Terrible at making decisions. So, not my thing. Bar is going to be a very hard place to play. It reflects the crowd noise down to the field because of the roof over the stand. Says Jordan. I saw one of the main channels, DSPN or Breakdown, say that Moore won't make the ABs based on his this performance. I'd definitely be adding him in. Says it's razor sharp. Paul Hamish can't go to the first All Blacks game in Christchurch New Stadium. I'll live. Like, it's not the end of the world, is it? It took me, how many years have they been playing at Apollo Project Stadium? It's probably taken me 25 years of my life before I even went to a Crusaders or Super Rugby game, so I don't think they'll miss me. Posse Toa having a hot and cold first half. Monty, my friend, I just want to know what is the history between the Hurricanes and the Highlanders in terms of winning and losing, says Hardis. I'm not sure of their exact record. I know that the Canes lately have got a very good record. Currently, they have won the last 10 games up against the Highlanders. So recent times, they have been the one who's been on top. This Highlanders side just haven't really been able to get themselves completely going ever since that early try of Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins. Sold out instantly. Says Jordan. Amateur, how's it going? Says Carlos. I'm doing well. Excited for not just the second half of this one, but also the game around the corner. Brumbies versus Chiefs. Should be a great one. I'm surprised Fihi Nofo is heading to Newcastle. I wonder why he isn't sticking around for a chance at the ABs. I mean, if the chance of making good money overseas is there and no guarantees, I think, was that one signed before Rennie was confirmed as head coach? So if it was, he probably thought, look, he doesn't know who the new coach is going to be. And if he can prove himself overseas as well while making a little bit of money while doing it, there's still plenty of time. The benefit he's got is he's got a whole career ahead of him. What's the best post kicker in world rugby in your opinion? I have Thomas Ramos in mind. Ramos is right up there. The fact that man has gone so many games with such a high kicking percentage, is absolutely incredible. He's only 23 though, says it's Razor. What time are you doing the Chiefs vs Brumbies game? I think 9:25, so 10 minutes before the kickoff of that contest. Oh, chopped on for South Africa. That's unlucky. McConkey just takes the wicket. South Africa now 46 for 5. That might be a quick T20, ladies and gentlemen. Most rugby players are so different from cricket players' names. Do all European original people play cricket and not rugby? No, not really. It's just there's more people playing rugby, so there's probably going to be more names. And then also you get a little bit more in terms of Pacific Island players in rugby, whereas cricket never really took off in the Pacific Islands, not to the same level as rugby and rugby league, etc. Also, Fihi really is only playing because Nahola was injured, although he is very good, says the Sporting Kiwi. And Ramos is fantastic, as is Louis Bielbiaré. And Kia ora Hamish says, Chris, welcome in once again. Predicted margin at the moment has the Highlanders winning by 13 plus, so someone got in very early to vote on that. That should adjust at some point. I think they've just realised that the poll might be broken because it still has Highlanders 13 plus with 100% of the votes. Is Damian McKenzie playing for the against the Brumbies? He is indeed, yep. So it should be a very exciting one. And Highlanders 1-5. Jalibert, super freaky talented. Yeah, I think there's plenty of talent around world rugby at the moment, which just makes it so much more exciting when that World Cup comes around and you're doing the Crusaders game tomorrow night. That one's a maybe at the moment. So originally the plan was going to be cover the first game between the Fijian Drua and the Reds, cover Crusaders Moana, and then also cover Waratahs up against the Blues. Now, that was when it looked like our team weren't making the semi-final for cricket. I also haven't played the last few weeks of cricket as well, which is why I've been able to do those early games. But the team somehow snuck through to the semi-finals. So that is going to be from 1 p.m. tomorrow and could run as late as maybe about 7:30, depending on how smoothly it all goes. So if the cricket finishes early, I'll be able to cover Crusaders Moana Pacifica. But if it doesn't finish early, first game of Saturday will be that Waratahs versus Blues game. And if we win the semi-final, we'll then have to play on Sunday as well, although that shouldn't affect too many streams. We have Gadea here. Who do you think will win between the Sharks and Munster this weekend? I asked you last Six Nations stream. You think the Munster players will be at the Six Nations, but Six Nations is over? Says David, yeah, but the players are still away. I did notice that for Munster, they haven't really got any of their Six Nations guys. They do still have some handy players and the likes of a Gavin Coombs and whatnot, but they haven't got Crowley in there. They haven't got a couple of their backs as well. So it is still a slightly weakened Munster team, which means that I think the Sharks should take them. And this is probably the best time for the Sharks to be able to beat them too, while Munster are slightly lighter than they would be. And we have got their cocktail sausage rolls and tomato sauce, says Ruth. Also look back, I think I missed a couple messages. It's good that you didn't do commentary for today's T20 because it will be a short one, says Coding. Yeah, well, there would have been a chat or a chance that had we done that one, it could have been over before the match between the Brumbies and the Chiefs. Your cricket team is on forthright. Can you do upset and beat the favourites? It'll be tough. I don't think we've ever beaten them before. Or not like in recent times anyway, ever since I've been playing for the team. We did get beaten by them in the first round of the one-day comp. Although that was because they brought in one of their senior players and he hit them 100. Outside of that, they only scored about maybe 70 runs amongst the rest of their team. But they won't have him tomorrow. So I think we've got a decent chance. We've got some handy enough bowlers. I'm probably not going to be included in that mix. I normally go for a few too many runs, even though I can get wickets. But I'm not too sure what's happening here at the moment. It seems like a few blokes doing a little bit of ballet or some sort at half time. We have there. I hope it pisses down. What for? For my cricket tomorrow, Kiwi Rob, or for like a game that's coming up in the future, like in the cricket at Eden Park? I hope the Bulls can beat Cardiff tonight in URC, says Colin. And South Africa 47 for 5. I love the Brumbies jerseys. And how long do they get for halftime? Normally it's about 14, 15 minutes, somewhere around there. I think it's 15 minutes on a timer, but it can vary just a little bit. But it's normally, roughly that 15 or so minutes before they do get back out there. Showing top tacklers in this comp at the moment, or at least in this matchup. It's been 7 for the Highlanders from TK Howden and Jack Taylor. Hugh Renton has got himself the 6. Hamish, are you coaching a big match tomorrow? I am also coaching in the morning, although it's not really, well, it's a big game, but it's not. It's not like a playoff or anything, but it is the last game for my junior side. So hopefully they will go all right. And that one Bulls will definitely win Cardiff at Loftus. I don't think they would in Wales, but in South Africa they will definitely. Says Davian. The Highlanders, though, down by 12. A lot of work to do throughout the second half. Yes. Which one was that for? I kind of listed about 3 or 4 things, Kiwi Rob. So which one was the one that you were hoping for? What was Chris Harris's bowling technique called? Was it spin? It looked weird. I don't think it was spin. It was just slower, wasn't it? Your coach, what sport? So it was cricket. Your cricket. Okay, so you're hoping it pours down with rain so that our team just get knocked out of the competition without playing. That's the gist of it, Kiwi Rob. Which cricket ground do you play on? Is it similar to Eden Park? No, not really. Our local ground's quite nice, but we're going to be playing up the road a little bit, just next to a KFC, so win-win. Your boy's going to win? Don't know. It'll be a tricky one, but it's part of the fun, I guess. Currently, second half, only a few minutes away from starting back up. Currently in the New Zealand game, it's sitting about 51 for 5. Off 9.1 overs. For me, cricket is fun to play, not fun to watch, says Davian. Yeah, see, I like watching it as well. And it kind of depends on the game. I don't really enjoy ODIs as much anymore, watching them. I think that's just because I watched so many when I was younger, and like I prefer Test match or T20 if I was to pick the one that I'd like to watch beforehand. An ODI just takes so long. But, you know, if you're watching it for a bit and then you go away, do something else, come back and then watch a bit more, it's normally all right, I find. Second half, impact off the bench will definitely need to be felt. Time since the last boundary for South Africa. It's been actually 15 minutes, so it could almost be the length of the halftime break since South Africa were able to get themselves their last big shot. Any X Factor? Is it in my team or my junior team, or which one? If you win the toss, you must chase the win. It's 50 overs or 20 overs, so it is 40 overs. We play kind of an almost in between. Yeah, I think they do want to bowl first. Hopefully no one from the other team's watching this. I don't think they would be. But, yeah, I think that we probably do want to bowl first. I can't watch golf, says the real Ando. Yeah, see, I used to be like that, but now I quite enjoy watching a bit of golf. I don't know what changed. I think it was the fact that I started playing a little bit more, and then I was like, oh, I want to learn a bit of extra. Junior team. Yeah, there's some X Factor in the team. I think there's a few guys that will probably get to represent South Canterbury around the corner, probably next year or the year after for the junior side of things, which is quite awesome. Fakatava is in the AB's conversation until he has to play against Roygard. Then his class difference is obvious. And tennis made me more tired than any other sport. I played those guys, must be fit, says Bad to the Bone. Yeah, tennis can be quite brutal, can't it? You don't really get any real breaks either. Like you get those short stoppages, but it's all about like going absolutely flat out for a bit, then you stop and you have to reset, and then you do it again like a few seconds later. But nah, that's an interesting one to watch. Tennis for me, I always like would watch a little bit and then go, okay, I've seen enough. But like I can understand why people would want to watch the whole lot too. I know it's not related to this game, but it's Carlos Spencer's son making his debut for the Blues. Peyton Spencer, is he in there? I know that he was in the Sevens last year, wasn't he? But now he signed with the Blues side, so I haven't actually looked at their lineup close enough to know yet. As your cricket circle friends, anyone going serious for playing first-class cricket? No, not really. The closest we got is someone like who I know who's going slightly semi-serious with umpiring, but like no one in our team I don't think is going to go to higher. Oh, there's one guy who's pretty handy. He scored a couple hundreds this year, but I don't know if he's interested in taking it to next level again. That Contact Energy commercial with the singing sheep is hilarious to me. Where's the H strong point in cricket? For my game at the moment, I don't know if I have a strong point, to be honest. It sounds pretty brutal, but I've got a bit unfit. I was decent fitness at the start of the season and was going well, but then had a lot of games off in the second half, and it really shows because I can hardly get up and down the wicket anymore. But, like, yeah, I don't really know what my strong point would be. I feel like I just get lucky sometimes, and you know, every once in a while they'll drop a catch and I might get to survive for a bit longer. Does anybody just know what Proctor is going to do? Because he telegraphs it, or is he a one-trick pony? Says Michael. You see, he's one of those interesting players, isn't he? Coming off a hat-trick a couple weeks ago. Is cricket or rugby more popular in New Zealand? To play, I think it's still rugby. And I think that cricket still isn't quite where rugby is. Watch the scrums once Siali Lawakai comes on, says Jordan. 11 to group versus Tossie, says Michael. And also, looks like a breeze. Just get into that squash court. Right, kickoff for the second half. We're back underway now, ladies and gentlemen. Hurricanes leading 19 points to 7. Geordie Barrett takes it inside of the 22. Kicks this one into touch. Do cardio a few times a week. Walking machine, you'll feel great, says Just Poker. Yeah, I've left it a little bit late, though. You know, it's the last 2 games, hopefully 2 games, if we win the semi-final, and then the cricket season's over. But I'm going to be doing a little bit more in the off-season to try and get in slightly better cricketing shape. That one's nicely taken. Ollie Haig. Oh, for love, Fakatava. He had a man all over him, but it is knocked on by Caleb Delaney. The route looks not normal. I think he's a little injured, says Jordan. Now, nice take. Oh, no. Harkin had it and then just let it slip through the fingertips. We'll go back for another scrum here. Hamish, you're a medium pace bowler. More spin now. I pretty much play the role of whatever they need. So, for instance, if we win the semi-final, our main spin is not available on Sunday to play the final. So, I will possibly step in as the spin option if they need it. Plus, we'll probably be on a grass wicket for that one, so it wouldn't be a bad thing having a spinner. Jordan, he be okay, says our underdog pick. Now another scrum. Seen quite a few of those throughout this matchup, and neither side has had a huge amount of dominance, although you could argue the Hurricanes have been the stronger of the 2 scrums. They've managed to win a couple penalties along the way and 1 or 2 free kicks. The Highlanders look like they've got a decent enough shove on them, though. It's another big push there, and the penalty awarded to the Highlanders. Because the group was winning penalties against Null last week, and now he looks just so normal. Maybe Pasilio Tossi's putting him under pressure in the scrum. The Highlanders will win, says Jordan. I don't know, you building spin full cricket team, says Kyle. Well, the whole team's not spin, it would just be me. But I also would be slightly more expensive, I think, than our main spinner. Highlanders with the line out, Jack Taylor. Throw it in again, going right over the top to the back. Nice take, though, from Warner Derns to be able to steal it for the Hurricanes. Short side, Roigard goes to a Safwa Moore. He decides he wants to boot this one. Going to be bouncing back infield. Not a bad kick. No, he's not. Tossie is bad, says Jordan. Dude is not normal right now. Drop ball. Tangitau knocked it on as well. I can't believe Angus Gardner hasn't given that as a knock on. Now he has. There's the knock on from the Highlanders. And another scrum for the Hurricanes. How many hours is your tournament in New Zealand? The cricket match will probably take about, I'd say, depends how long both teams bat. We might be looking at anywhere between 5 and 6 hours, somewhere around there. Which is why the Crusaders Moana one is very dependent on whether or not we finish early. But lineouts 1 at the moment. 3 are lost by the Highlanders. That is not an ideal stat from this department. They did show Thomas Alavanini on the sideline. Super Rugby titles, New Zealand 22, the rest 7, and that is going to be another free kick now at scrum time. Ever since I said that maybe the Hurricanes had the slight advantage, we're now seeing the Highlanders go back-to-back with some great moments. Oh, another wicket. They are now 6 down for South Africa for 68 runs. Forsyth on his way after getting 17 or 15. Jimmy Neesham takes the wicket. Okay, a suffer more. They had just been given a big warning from the referee saying if you want to win penalties, you got to do it legally at scrum time. Suffer Moore looks straight at the ref and goes, well, how do you know it's not him? However, there you go, black and yellow. Turn it up. De Groot is getting tossied, says Shane. Hamish, back just got attacked by the neighbour's cat. Did you deserve it? I have a question on YouTube. Where I'm watching on how do you get the image of the stadium behind you? Says Hardis. I have a question on YouTube where I'm watching. So as in like, how do I get this? It's like a picture that we've taken like as a background and then added the lineups to either side. So like, it's not like a live view of the stadium. There's no one running around behind me, which some people think it actually is. And then I'm just hiding it. Some people say lean off to the side. We can't see the field. Now sitting 12 metres out from the line. And also, what's your prediction for the South African tour? I'd say New Zealand would be doing well to get 2-2. Now, trying to get in the breakdown. I suffer one more. Told to get out of there. Highlanders, 20 metres out. South Africa will be lucky to get 100. Almost out of his legs. Chopped out from underneath him for Hugh Renton. Katava back across. Ethan de Groot. Now right again. Moving it on. This is a good backline here for the Highlanders. Cutting back in is Jonah Nareki. He's tackled by Warner Derns. Now that's hilarious. It's obviously a still. Says Zakaya. About 5 metres out. Tangitau held up by Barrett. Now left-hand side. Jack Taylor still marching forward. They're about 10 metres out from the line now. Withy goes across to Pasitoa. Oh, that's a knock-on from Timothy Tavatavanawai. And the Hurricanes get the ball back. We have there. No, look, Hamish, be realistic. Tossie gets penalised in the NPC and De Groot was winning penalties against Null last week. He's quite clearly not normal right now. Tavanawai's run was great. I hope you're not talking about that one. He dropped the ball about 1 metre into it. So I assume you're talking about this earlier one from Timothy Tavanawai. Or being tackled by Cam Roigard. Is it just me or did the Highlanders drop the ball more than anyone else? They do have a lot of handling errors. And it's got to be frustrating for Jamie Joseph. Because, you know, you go for a backline movement and it goes down on about your third or so pass. It just you know, it has to be annoying. One second, we'll go like this. And like that as well. Now Roigard to put this ball in. Going to the left-hand side. Now Ruben Love. Gets that one into touch. Shouldn't be dropping balls under the roof, says Nara Boy. And also we have got the high from Anarika. Welcome in. If you are doing extremely well, Jacob Ratamaitaviki Nepkins runs the ball forward for the Landers. Left-hand side, short of space here. Nariki, the pass goes behind. Has to regather it. Losing a few extra meters here. Almost a steal on the breakdown for the Canes. Katava. Goes to Lucas Casey. And we have got there, have you had your teeth whitened? I have not. I think it's just the lighting of the camera. And like the lights that actually make them look a lot nicer than they actually are. We have got, there you go, the boys, here's Kiwi NZ. What ball is out there? Timothy Tavatavanawa, another knock on from the Highlanders. So we'll go back for yet again another scrum. Okay, ball was out, says the referee. Just looking at the moment at that scorecard for the cricket. 75 for 6 at the moment. No one for South Africa has really got going, but Linda actually had a very good last innings. I don't know if you watched Jeff, the ref, on DSPM, but he says once the players start rolling the ball back with their hands, add the ruck, you can go after them. Says the Sporting Kiwi. And yeah, some teams do get away with it a little bit in terms of that rolling it back. Or more so, I should say, some halfbacks get away with it. Not so much now, though. I think some will go for it. Nice teeth throw with the laughing face. So I assume that's sarcasm. We have got there, Tossie doing well, says Ruth. Just at a 61 metre 6 there, South Africa. And the one, oh no, it's a 61 metre 6 because Ben Sears has dropped it over the boundary rope. Now Karefi has made his way onto the field for Braden Yossi. Mafaleo is on the field for Tossi. And I believe Siali Lawakai, sorry, has made his way onto the field on the far side of the scrum for Xavier Numia. And now Lakai at the back. Massive push there from the Hurricanes. And now nice ball on the inside. Ruben Love passes across to Billy Proctor. Skip on the outside to Fihi. Fianofo. Ball on the inside. This is beautifully done by the Canes. The last pass. Almost ended up missing it, but Roigard goes to Flanders, who fights his way over the try line. And they score the try there for the Hurricanes. That is impressive. From this Canes side, it looked like there was just half a mistake. And we have got there from Jeff the ref talks a lot of on that Tupavai jumpy try. He said as long as Vai had good intentions, it should have been awarded. And no sarcasm, says the real Ando. Now, going across to the left-hand side, Fihi Fianofo got the pass, and that one there looked like it was the mistake. And it bounces back up for the Canes, and a good pop ball from Roigard. I just said there, the number one offloading team in the competition for the Hurricanes. Flanders Flying Hurricanes season. Do you have a favourite Miley Cyrus song, Hamish? Favourite Miley Cyrus song? It's bad that I can't think of too many. There's a Wrecking Ball one in there. I don't think that was too many people's favourite song, though. Oh, was it Lawakai and Mafaleo? I believe Mafaleo in that case. For all the bad things you've said that Tossie did throughout that game, Jordan, I would have thought you'd be watching it. So surely you can tell us who it was, right? Oh, we have got there, Canes. There's the real Ando. Looks like a change is being made, going off the field for Lucas Case. He didn't have as much of an impact from that number 7 jersey as he does normally at 8. And Kane's third. Says the AI underdog pick. Now they sit with the bonus point just for now, the Hurricanes. And that is going to be a penalty awarded to the Hurricanes again. That pass was for which pass are we talking, Kiwi Rob? We need a little bit more specificness there. Jordan supports the Highlanders but likes Lawaki. It sounds like it, doesn't it? So I think I don't know how it works. I think he wants the Hurricanes to lose so that he can say it's all Pasili Tossi's fault. But at the same time, he wants Lawaki to do well. If it was Mafaleo, then OMG, watch out. When Lawaki comes on, it's going to get extremely ugly. What's your favourite Miley Cyrus song? I did say before that I wasn't too familiar with a few. I can't think of too many. I know that she's got Wrecking Ball. She's got Party in the USA. Other than that, I'm not sure what else she's got. What other songs does she sing? She's probably had a few. She's been around for a while, hasn't she? Oh, New Zealand trying to get another wicket, but not quite able to do so. No, I want Lawaki to play really good so he gets attention. Says Jordan, can't remember time span, the underdog pick, but if you go to the transcript and in the description section, you can find it. And also, hi all, how are things? Wait, what's that for the AOA underdog one? Oh, for the Canes third. I want Stormers to do well, says Bruce. It's food being discussed, not Miley Cyrus, says Zakiah. Now on the halfway line here, Hurricanes. They've got the ball just around their halfway line. Tavita Mafaleo carrying it forward. Roigard back into the pocket to Ruben Love. And this game is all but over, eh? Yeah. Although, I did learn from looking back last year, this game, we actually ended the live stream early. Not because of a one-sided affair, but because Sky Sports stopped showing it. They had a few technical difficulties on Sky, and we couldn't actually access the game. And I think that was the case for a lot of Kiwis too. I want to select any new All Blacks for the South African tour, says Kiwi Rob. I think AI Underdog wanted to know about Jeff the Ref comment. Oh, okay, I get you. Roigard takes the up and under better than most fullbacks, says Nada Boy. Currently 28 minutes remaining in this contest, or now down to 27. The bonus point in play for the Hurricanes. The Highlanders would need quite the comeback. Then we need our best players for South Africa. Pat Benatar has an incredible voice, opera trained, says Zakiah. Now 93 for 6 is the scoreline. Linda's going all right, 18 off 16. I see that's another penalty, double blow the whistle. And it is going to be a yellow card here for Xavier Numia. Clear angle. He is going to be removed from the field, dance exponents, and bring Lawaki on. They probably will have to now if there is a scrum. They've just said it will help the Highlanders scrum and it will give the Hurricanes one less out there. Yeah, that scrum just collapsing under pressure. Clark Laidlaw animated in the coaching box. And who was the greatest one-test All Black of all time? See, my problem is not knowing who's only got one test. And how the the Black Caps doing. They currently have South Africa 94 for 6 after 13.4 overs. Now going right-hand side, Yona Nariki tries the offload. Again, it's gone forward though. So the Highlanders, their own worst enemies. Now Love goes off to Geordie Barrett. Quiet enough day from Barrett. Just done the simple things right. TK Howden lines up. Callum Harkin. That should be a nice clean steal, but Jack Taylor wins the penalty there for the Highlanders. Howlett? Yeah, I don't know either, says the Sporting Kiwi. 94 for 6, that seems decent. Yeah, if they can keep that run rate below 7, definitely at Eden Park, which is normally known for being a bit of a smaller ground, although Kutsia's gone out with a bit of a hiss and a roar. He's on 16 off 7 balls currently. And Linda at the other end's on 19 off 17, but we know his power from the last match. Now line out here for Jack Taylor. That's currently 8 minutes remaining of the Xavier Numia yellow card. Haig takes it nicely. Rolling maul is looking strong here for the Highlanders. Winners of Stormers game. They are playing on Monday morning up against the Dragons. So that'll be Sunday afternoon for you guys in South Africa. Breaking off the back there for Sean Whiffy. Now Haig. Lennox goes to Hugh Renton. Oh, it's a loose ball picked up at the back for Roygard. They'll go back for another penalty. What do the Canes get carded for? Repeat infringements in the scrum. Canes are in charge here, says Colin. Loakai is going to be on next scrum, by the way, says Jordan. That is correct. And WGF was at Pasitoa. Spent 6 years in Dunedin at Otago University. Loved it. Lived fairly close to Carisbrook. I love your live streams, Hamish. You do a good job. Very good job, and keep it up. Love your videos, Hamish, says Carlos. Thank you very much. Sorry that I couldn't name you a good Miley Cyrus song, but yeah, I just couldn't think of any. What's your favourite song, Carlos, from her? I should have asked that question as well, just to find out. Now line out here, Jack Taylor. Nice take there at the front for the Highlanders. Another wicket there for the Black Caps too. There's obstruction at the line out. So it will go the way of the Canes as Jameson gets the 7th wicket. Not sure if it was right, but about time a ref called out the front row for mucking around. Set a platform, push forward straight. It's painful watching the likes of Genge flopping to milk penalties. Says here Congo. I'm saying nah to Miley Cyrus. Sorry, says Ando. Yeah, nah, you don't have to answer that one. That was just for the one who initially asked for the question. But yeah, they'll be frustrated. TK Howden just ended up in front there when it came to that line out. The Chiefs will be the primary. I don't see the Brumbies Street winning, hypothetically speaking. I assume that's the Chiefs will be the primary, right? That game could be extremely close. The last time they played at Geo Stadium, it's actually only separated by about 2 points in favour of the Chiefs. And town, says Melissa. And ride my horse to the old road. Now up the middle. Chance here. Caleb Delaney looking for the support. Couldn't quite get it to the side where Larkai was waiting. Now a soft one more. Offloads to Larkai. Gets through Ethan to Group. No tackle there from Renton. On under is Cam Miller tonight. He is not playing in this game due to that knock that he suffered last week. Roygard goes back across to Davida Mafaleo. Currently with 21 minutes remaining in this contest, Roygard again is in possession. Brad Shields looking to the left. 22 metres out. And if they score again here, the Canes, that bonus point will be just that little bit more secure. Someone put together one test All Blacks 15. They put Jeffrey Tuamunga Allen at hooker. Oh, wow. Okay, so there were no other hooker options, or they just didn't know where he played. I guess if he's only played one test and they watch internationals, maybe they got confused. Now off to the right. Speaking of Tuamunga Allen, he'll be playing for the Reds again this week, won't he? In fact, the Reds have the bye, do they? No, they're playing the Fijian draw, in fact. Now Brad Shields. Oh, he's had the ball ripped off him by Cam Miller, but it bounces back to Cam Roygard. Just didn't seem to be enough aggressiveness there, although that was an aggressive tackle from Adam Lennox, forcing Cam Roygard into touch. Have you ever done an NRL live stream? We've done quite a few in the past, but not for quite some time, unfortunately. How's the Love and Roygard combo? It's been solid enough, I would say. There haven't really been a huge amount of mistakes made by them. Oh, sounds like a TMO check here. April Sun in Cuba. Says bad to the bone. He's still good enough to be in the All Blacks for me, says the Sporting Kiwi. Okay, dangerous clean out from 20 Highlanders. So that would be against Viveni Lasanga. They're ready to show the replay. New Zealand have taken another wicket, by the way. South Africa are 103 for 8 now. 2 wickets and 2 overs, says Nutter Boy. Okay, it was a static ruck, they've said. Is this going to be a dangerous one? Worthy of a yellow card. Our time at the moment, exactly 60 minutes have passed. 1 second, we'll shake the mouse a bit. There we go. Has now updated itself. Right. What are we about to find out here? Of course, the TMO will be looking at a Highlander. Nothing going their way currently, says Zakaya. Right. So, Viveni Lasanga, he does hit Warner Durns in the head. Warner Durns is not happy about it either. He tries to drive him into the turf a little bit out of frustration. It's shoulder to head. This is probably going to be a yellow card, unfortunately. Just stupid, says Dunk. Yeah, there was no need for it from Lasanga. Oh, yes, that's definitely a card, says Zakaya. So, yeah, now off-field review. And it is Viveni Lasanga to make his way from the field. No, it wasn't. Look at the other angle, says Jordan. I think it was. Are you watching our NRL this weekend? I might be able to catch 1 or 2 games along the way, if I'm lucky. Now, Ruben Love kicks this one towards the sideline. They'll be about 10 metres out from the line now for the Hurricanes. Super play. I really don't get why they do that. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me either, because they could easily just, not do it, because at the end of the day, you're not going to win that ball in the breakdown. It's literally just a cheap shot on a grounded opposition, which, you just don't need to do. Thrown in. Nice take there from Warner Durns at line-out time, so he is all right. Surprised he didn't have to go off for an HIA after that heavy head contact. Now, Roygaard calling for a couple more to his right-hand side. Oh, that is disappointing performance, is Moa Hunter. Pick and go from Durns again. Looking for the steal in the breakdown was Angus Ta'aval right over the ball early, but just got ripped off it late. Currently 19 minutes remaining in this game. The Hurricanes looking to well and truly secure this contest. Now, breaking forward, a Safwa more. Timothy Tavatavanawa went for the steal, couldn't get it this time. Brad Shields. That should be a mandatory HIA after a card. Says Zakaya there. No advantage as well going the way of the Canes. Left-hand side, Duplessis Karifi. They can go a Safwa more. Couple more metres from him. Hugh Renton almost. Again, able to steal the ball. That's the thing. They've been very close multiple times in this game, the Highlanders, to being able to get that position, but just miss out in the final moments. Quick hands from Ruben Love. Nicely done. And Fianofo gets another try. That is now 2 for the game. And the Hurricanes, not only do they have their bonus point, but now they have a little bit of leeway alongside it too. Says Jordan there. And good game for the Canes, says Colin. A nice try, says Zakai. Yeah, just very nice build-up play, wasn't it? They didn't rush it, just continuously going with the phases. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane, says a big rig. Concept of lazy aggression. The illusion of being committed to the team effort, says Dunk. And the Canes too good. Says, yeah, Congo and head-stoned. Hurry up, bring lower key on. For goodness sake, says Jordan. And now Ruben Love. Another kick. This one is from 50 metres out. Setting 3 from 4. It was actually about the same angle that he did miss one from earlier on. But this time, he's missed it again. Going to be setting now 3 from 5. Currently leading by that hefty 24-point margin. the stage, the Hurricanes. Fihi Finianofo has another opportunity to work himself towards the hat-trick chance. Last time that he could have had one, he gave it to Josh Morby. Although Josh Morby, he does not sit in a position where he can get himself... Oh, there you go. So I think Delaney... Was it? Delaney may have gone off for an HIA, and he failed it, I believe. They have just mentioned. I think that was the name that was said anyway. There's a thrashing. Says bad to the bone. In fact, no, it might have actually been Braden Yossi. Maybe. One's going to be kept in touch. And Ruben Love 10, he is currently playing in the 10 jersey, yes. I mean, Cam Roygard, as that combo Kane's way too good today. On paper, the Highlanders are way better than this. And what's going on down south, says the real Ando. They've had far too many penalties. It wasn't Delaney, it was Derns that got hit. It was, but they're talking about an earlier HIA. That is why Shields was on the field. Hugo Plummer now makes his way on. And Siali Lawaki makes his way on too. What's he doing with the post? I don't know what's more one-sided, this or the cricket. I'd say this. Cricket's still, like, at Eden Park, 7 runs and overs a little light. But at the same time, it's until you see the other team bat, you don't really know what's going to happen. Right, that ball's out the back. Here we go, says Jordan there. Now Larkai goes to Ruben Love, who finds a bit of a gap there. And the Highlanders defence ball on the inside to Barrett. Another offload, Fihi Finianofo. Tackled 22 metres out from the line. Roygard going off to Billy Proctor. Oh, trying to get that steal on the breakdown. Can't quite do it. Go on left-hand side. Looked like the legs of Fihi Finianofo were feeling a little bit sore there. Now, Lawaki tackled. And driven down to the turf. Roygard. Larkai. Going across. Ruben Love. Geordie Barrett now out to Proctor. New Zealand have taken another wicket. They now have South Africa 9 down by the looks of it. Or do they? No, they don't. Never mind. It bounced. Now, left-hand side. Chance for Fihi Finianofo. Finds Balin. Sullivan cuts back in and scores another try. This one's now pretty heavily one-sided, ladies and gentlemen. We have there the White Ferns 1-2 versus South Africa. Oh, no, that's now the wicket of Ben Sears. Gets rid of Maharaj. And they're now 9 down. And going forward all the time, Landers on the back foot. Remember Ron Cribbs, he was all right, says the real Ando. And Chiefs versus the draw final. It'll be a home game for the Chiefs though, right? Of course, for that to happen, I'd like to think the draw would have broken their losing streak away from home. As they'd have to win, of course, that semi-final. And woohoo, well done the Hurricanes, says Ruth. Yeah, this one's one-sided. Hey, no way, man. Says the underdog pick. But now another chance for Ruben Love to convert. Adds the additional 2. Scoreline 38 points to 7. Okay, not a high degree of danger, so the yellow card will remain a yellow for Vivini Lasanga. What are the rules for the playoffs this year? Same as last year, I believe. Top 6 go through. And it will be 1 versus 6, 2 versus 5, 3 versus 4. Highest qualifier who loses gets the lifeline. And then gets to go on and continue. But they would lose their home field advantage. That's the penalty. Won by Larkai in the breakdown. And, oh wow, in both games, South Africa 112 for 9. That Vernon Basson is so overrated, says Jordan. It will be interesting if there will be more Chiefs or Moana Pacifica fans at the Rotorua game. Probably more Chiefs, I think. There'll be a few who make the trip, seeing as it's like not miles away. Vernon Basson on the field now. Sorry, Basin, I should say. Nice take at the front from Brad Shields. Now moving right-hand side. Oh! Uh-oh. Angus Gardner is down, ladies and gentlemen, with an injury here. And that sounded serious. Players are still going. But this does not seem good for Gardner. He might be out for the year. Oh, what's he done? It looks like maybe wrist. Unless he's just putting his hands there, but he looks in a lot of discomfort here, Angus Gardner. So, what happens here? He's there. Oh, gets cleaned up by Hugh Renton, hits him in the ribs. I think he got winded there. Angus Gardner didn't see the collision coming. Question is, were there any arms involved from Hugh Renton? Is it a yellow card offence? But no, he's in a lot of pain at the moment, Angus Gardner. Looks like it was probably his arm and the rib that took the most of the brunt, which now means we're going to see a referee replacement. Can a player be yellow carded for cleaning up a ref? Not technically, but if it looked intentional, then maybe. Yeah, Angus Gardner looks like he has got a rib injury at the moment. First, when I saw him go down, I thought that it was like calf or hamstring or something that had gone ping. I remember when Richie McCaw tackled the South African supporter who ran on the field and assaulted a ref. Says a sporting Kiwi. Geez, that was a wee way ago, wasn't it? Back in the day. And Hamish, were they going to have the World Cup in Australia next year, 2027? What state? I think there's a few games across a lot of locations. I know that main games are taking place at Allianz Stadium. That seems to be the location that they're going for some. But, you know, games are happening in Perth. I think Melbourne are getting a couple of them. There's some at Suncorp. It wasn't a very big collision, yeah, although it was one that the referee wasn't expecting. So, you know, you can brace for impact when you think you're going to get hit, but when you're not bracing for impact, you know, everything's relaxed. So, you know, it probably doesn't feel great getting hit by a big number 8 like Hugh Renton. A Roygaard must have heard the hype Hofen was getting. Says freshman. Just showing here that with the way that this game sits, they will be sitting top of the table by far, the Hurricanes, in terms of that points differential. It is Saturday by me tomorrow. Says Mohadeen. It is Saturday here too tomorrow. But currently, while we do have a bit of a stoppage here, ladies and gentlemen, 17.1 overs down and 115 for 9 for the South Africans. Right, it looks like they are about to make a change here. Is Angus covered by ACC? I'd like to think he'd be covered by someone if he is injured. What happened to the Highlanders? They just haven't shown up for this game. They've been penalised a lot throughout this contest for the ill discipline that they've been showing. Careless from Renton. And a gift basket to Angus, says Vic. And better you doing, rugby, because the cricket is a show again. Although, to be fair, if South Africa get to 120, they've actually done quite well from where they were. They were about 4 for 40, weren't they, in that contest? So I think that they'd take 120. But at the same time, they would have liked about 180 at Eden Park. Hit by a tank, says Ruth. And there as well. Flanders, they're just showing his try that he was able to get earlier on in the game, charging for Fihi Finianofo. Also has managed to get the couple tries as well. Right, Angus Gardner is up. It's actually his shoulder that he's holding here. Do they have refs on the bench? They have the assistant referee who goes into the main referee role, but it looks like Gardner's going to continue. Okay, he's saying there that it was a bit of a stinger. I get the TMO off his boat. No, the TMO gets to stay where he is. Like they're saying, after the collision, he sounded like he was in a lot of pain, which is why I first initially thought it was something leg-wise. You know, like a calf muscle pinging or something like that. But you shouldn't have to take another tackle, hopefully. However, there I'd say they picked the right man to be AB's coach. See, here's Hartley there. And also OMG Alawakai, says Jordan. Yeah, they are going to have a scrum here. First scrum of the day. They are going to have the scrum feed here, the Hurricanes, as they were in position. Are you doing the Bulls game? I won't be. As before that game ends, I have to be down at the cricket grounds getting ready for the junior game. I did try and find a replacement. Asked a couple people. They both said no. So, yeah, it sadly won't be covered on the channel. Penalty goes the way of the Hurricanes. Straight to the floor. It looks like they are going to once again go towards the corner there. Believe it or not, Pete Funsale was convicted of assaulting David McHugh. But sadly, quite a lot of support at the trial, says Zakiah. And so much Jamie Joseph, says Dion. Now will be the line out, 7 men. See Karefi just letting the opposition know. My guava tree was dying from heat waves, says Ruth. South Africa is still not all out, by the way. They're actually doing quite nicely to stay in it for a bit longer. 8 being told to get out of there for Hugh Renton. Won't be the most popular man at the moment with Angus Gardner. I would have rather it stay up so we can see him push him way back, says Jordan. I hope Lawakai's paying you, Jordan, for how much you celebrate him as soon as he makes his way on. Yeah, it's just had a carry there. Didn't quite score the try, but now an attacking chance here for the Hurricanes. Like, you must be his main sponsor or something. Now, out wide, Fianofo passes it, or doesn't pass it, sorry, goes in the corner, and it's another try for the Hurricanes. RG's better win, or I will cry, says Jasmine. The new AB's coach makes it interesting for the players. No, we're not letting Fihi go, says the Sporting Kiwi. Now, MG says Zakiah there. And the new AB's coach makes it interesting for the players. No favourites. And they're going to get 50 at this point. Yeah, they're getting a long way towards it, aren't they? And I took Fihi out of my fantasy team because he's been inconsistent. Well, that was a terrible move, wasn't it? Got himself a hat trick here. A few assists along the way too. And well, Kane's going mad. Now we over there. Hurricanes punishing... Oh, sorry. Hurricanes punishing Highlanders for all the bad squeals. Sorry, sequels. It was a tough one to read, wasn't it? Now, Ruben Love from the sideline tries to bring it back around. Not quite for him. That'll make the score now 43 points to 7 in favour of the Hurricanes. And 2-2 says the AI underdog pick. That would have already been on 50 if Ruben Love didn't miss that kick. Oh, sorry, misses kicks in general. And big one says the AI underdog. Now, nice take from Warner Derns. A converted try from here will get them to the half century. Torres has a 3% chance of winning from here. Hamish, give us some words of wisdom to uplift us in these dark times. There's always the fourth matchup. It's a bit negative-minded, isn't it? But, like, at the end of the day, we don't know what this pitch is doing until both sides bat. That's a great shot, by the way. 6 runs more for Makona. Now running up the middle. Geordie Barrett, lot of space. Steps around Vavini Lasanga. Now links up with Love. Big wide cutout pass to Balin Sullivan on the far touchline. Dave Rennie will pick Chiefs players first. Whoever thinks he won't pick favourites needs to look back at his career. I don't care. He's been gone for more than 10 years. Now Fihi Norfolk running up the middle. 22 metres out. Geordie Barrett. Oh, offload. Tried to get it away. There's going to be the advantage. They'll go back now for the scrum. This Ruben Love is looking very good at 10, says the Sporting Kiwi. I didn't like that, says Jordan. That's not really a surprise. You haven't liked much other than Siali Lawakai. We have got their scrums, says Jordan. And I was starting to think the URC was a low-level competition, but how Mortal Geordie looked in Super. But he's turning it up a bit now, says Air Congo. Now another scrum here. In favour of, I believe this will be in favour of the Highlanders, this scrum. Adam Lennox defeated in. Landers are terrible indeed. Yeah, they haven't looked great this game. They scored the first try of the contest, which was good. But from there, it's just been absolutely everything. Oh, penalty. Lauakai penalised on the near side for going down. Nicely done by Sasefu Kautai to be able to win the penalty for his side. Now Andrew Newstub will kick this one towards the touchline. The same with Jamie Joseph. Sees Kiwi Robert. All Blacks dodge a bullet and Jamie Joseph. And also basically been homebound for 3 weeks. I'll be working from home the next 2 weeks, so I really appreciate the interaction on your live stream, says Zakai. And yeah, it's greatly appreciate you popping in. See, we started up these streams way back when we were in that pandemic stage. How people were all having to isolate and everything along those lines. And I feel like it was quite a cool thing, the fact that people could come on the weekend and have a chat when they weren't really getting to chat to as many people. Now, Vakina tackled round halfway. Highlanders trying to find some way, at least a little bit back into this contest. Help out their points differential. I can't blame the coach for handling errors or brain farts here, Zakaya. Now Proctor stepping on the inside, gets through Caleb Tangitau and Hugh Renton. Can't quite get through the third tackle attempt. Duplessis Karifi. Big collision there with Hugh Renton. Now, Larkai, big bump up of Sasefu Kautai. Thanks, Highlanders, for the training run. Says Kiwi Rob. Now going back across to Geordie Barrett. Now 25 out, Tava Nawai, hands on the ball. Does he get the penalty? Now referee doesn't quite award it. It absolutely is. It's great hearing a Kiwi accent, says Zakaya there. And can we give Dave more of a chance than Razor? Says the real Ando. Oh, it'd be hard to give him less of a chance, as Razor wasn't given a huge one. Now ball's still there for the Canes. Eritara Inari, 5 minutes remaining now on the clock. Chance for the half century. I think that the Black Cats would love to bring up later on. Tries the offload there, Shields, but it's knocked on by Fehi Whinianofo. Kick downfield from Lennox. The advantage is now over. What does Ruben Love decide on? Do we go kick towards touchline if you're the Canes, or do you go for the attack down the middle? It seems like the kick for touch is the better option. Goes into touch there. If New Zealand don't win next year, Dave is going to get Batista bombed. And also, Ruben Love won't get picked as 10 in the ABs. If Ruben Love gets picked, who would miss out? Bona Barrack or D-Mac or Richie Moonga, Hamish, says Kiwi Row. I love the fact that any time it involves like someone kind of countering what you agree with, you end up trying to bring me into it as your second like man on the job. But you can fight your own battle here, Kiwi Rob. You've said that Ruben Love's not quality enough, so you say who's going to be better than him. I replace Whinianofo for Tangitau, wrong choice. Says Sold Ron. And if New Zealand don't win, oh no, I read that one about the Batista bombing. Now, on the halfway line. I use ball kids here, but I noticed they use ball adults in the Six Nations. Says the Sporting Kiwi. Yeah, I'm not too sure what the reasoning would be behind that. That's a good driving tackle from Balin Sullivan. Pushes the man Jacob Ratamaitapuki Nepkins into touch. Caleb Clark not on fantasy, couldn't find him. He should have been, shouldn't he? He's playing for the Blues this weekend. Oh, it was almost another wicket. South Africa are still in at the moment, by the way. They're up to 126 for 9. Hamish, you ready for prison? Says Mahadine. No, not really. Ball thrown in by Basin. Gardner will have the World Cup final. Now pass across Larkai. And a lot of space again. Ball on the inside. Barrett offloads. Sits up for Proctor. 2 men on his outside. Pehi. Whinianofo. It looks like it's hit Tangitau last. Will be the Highlanders line out now. 5 metres out from the try line. Stop the Angus Gardner glaze. Some would say the same to you about Siali Lauakai though, wouldn't they? Surely it's the same both ways, how they're allowed to talk about their favourites, you're allowed to talk about yours. Even Ofa Tonga Fasi not on Rugby Fantasy 2. It's kind of weird the fact that they're in matches and they're not in the fantasy side of things. Is there enough time for the Highlanders to come back from here? Not quite. They've got 2 minutes. they may be able to score another try, but at the same time, the Hurricanes may be able to get themselves another two, although nicely taken by Bavini Lasanga. Lakai looks like he's a bit slow getting back up to his feet there. Same with Geordie Barrett. It's been quite a fast-paced game for these two sides. A lot of running meters between them. Jonah Nariki passes on the outside to Newstub. Now Jacob Rata Maitavuki Nepkins went in behind, taken by Ruben Love. He'll go for a chip in behind himself. 3 Highlanders players back there. Oh, nice finish there from the Proteas, getting up to 136 for 9 in their game up against the Black Caps. Unable to get bowled out. Unable to bowl them out, the Black Caps in that one. Right, advantage now. In fact, it is just for the knock-on, so we will go back for another scrum. And it's Ed by me tomorrow, says Mohaldeen. And not love coach, says EAA underdog. I believe stay up the scrums, says Jordan. Your last one went down quickly on the loose head side for the Canes. Timothy Tavatavanawa still at the top of the bunch for most defenders beaten. He's beaten 45. He's actually sitting more than double anyone else in the competition. Makona, 26 of 20 at the end of the South African innings has got them to a reasonable total. That gives me 137. That is correct, yes. Time almost up though, just 40 seconds remaining. Eritara Inari, the man to feed this one in. Knee's gone down by both front rows, but it is going to be the advantage now. Going the way of the Canes. Ruben Love, big wide cutout pass. Fihi, Finian Norfo, cutting back inwards, looking for his fourth. Almost gets through Tangitel. About 12 metres out from the line. Eritara Inari now moving forward. Karefi, Eritara Inari goes to Morby, 1 metre short. Can the Canes bring up their half century? Another penalty advantage against the Highlanders. That's close for Lakai, gets over. Deserved try for him, and they now have the chance for the 50. Now we have got there, where are you? I'm in Abu Dhabi. The Hurricane scrum wasn't that dominant when Tossie was on. It was still doing pretty decently though, wasn't it? In the first half. But going off to the left. You also got to remember though, when you look through at the Highlanders, they had Ta'avao and De Groot in the starting lineup, whereas off their bench, they have Josh Bartlett and Sasifu Kautai. So not exactly the same calibre of the bench, which would then understandably so, if the Canes have got the stronger option, they would be able to get a bit of push, would they not? He's not a gorgeous long ball, or he's got a gorgeous long ball, does Ruben Love, says the Sporting Kiwi. And we have got there how many kgs of pressure in the front rows next. There is plenty on them. They definitely need to strengthen that as much as they can. Now Ruben Love, chance for the 50. Again, it's from that rough side, but he's nailed that kick. It is the half century. They can raise the bat, the Canes. And they have raised their level for this contest. 50 points to 7. They conceded the first try, but that's about it at this point in time. A convincing victory. And now they sit top of the table and will be very hard to catch in points differential at this stage. Angus Garner just having a bit of a chat there with Geordie Barrett about his shoulder. Just checking if he is all right at the end of this game. Absolute beatdown, says Just Poker. And also we've got them our Hunters. Cheers. Yeah, thanks, Amy Shaws and commentary, says Ruth. Thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated, but still got another game just around the corner. It is starting up in about 30 minutes' time. And that is going to be the contest between the Brumbies and the Chiefs. That is a big game, an important one, but near the top of the table. So be sure to stick around for that. But thank you all very much for watching. And I will see you all for the next one.